What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod, and I'm a full-time eBay and PoshMark seller. And in today's video, I want to go over the real honest truth about what it's like being an online reseller. So if you like videos like this, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you want to see more videos just like this, please subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be putting out a lot more videos just like this. So let's get into it. So I figured the best way to give some better perspective about being an online reseller, I said let me start with my background first. I have a background in higher education. I got my master's in higher education back in 2013, and I was working as an academic advisor for about 4 years, almost 5. And then I decided I wanted to, switch things up a little bit and change my experience. So I decided to move to California for a director position in EOP at I won't talk about the college. That's not important. But anyway, I was a director of EOP for about 9 months. And the crazy thing is, I moved all the way across the country with my now fiance, and that was supposed to be my, my career path. I wanted to be a president of a university, so I figured why not be an advisor, then a director, then probably a VP, dean, something like that. But that experience was just so terrible for me that I realized that this is not what I wanted to do. And I was always interested in entrepreneurship. I was like literally fascinated with it, and the thing is that it scared me because just kind of living paycheck to paycheck, not having that security, like basically just constantly hustling. I was afraid of it. So it definitely took me a long time until I decided to go into it. A few months passed. Like I said, I was hating the experience, so then I quit the job after 9 months. And that was the first time in my life that I was experiencing like anxiety and like real stress, to the point where like my face was looking different. I wasn't smiling, I wasn't laughing anymore. Like, it was bad. I went through like a really dark time. So just by me quitting that job, I definitely left out a huge part of that story. So when I quit the job, my initial plan was to get a part-time job so that I can slowly make a transition into being a full-time entrepreneur. But the downside is the one job that I applied to was in higher education, and I clearly was either overqualified or I just wasn't a good fit. But long story short, I just didn't get the job. So out of straight stubbornness and just out of spite for not getting that job that I thought I needed and I wanted so bad, I just decided to invest in myself and put all the time and energy into researching how to sell things online. And that's how the eBay journey really started to take off. So if it wasn't for that, me not getting that job, who knows where I might have been. I probably would have continued being in higher education, and this whole eBay journey would have never gotten this big. So let's continue the story. I took that risk, I took that leap, and from there is when I really tried to figure out what am I actually going to do to make money. So before I quit, I actually saved up about maybe $14,000-$15,000 just so I could have some cushion. But the crazy thing is, I didn't really start making any real money until about 6 months afterwards. So it wasn't until that $15,000 basically was depleted was when I really started making money. And that's when I started using eBay as like my main way of making bread. At this time, I was still living in Monterey, California. And Monterey, as some of you all may know, is super expensive. And the Goodwills out there was just like most Goodwills in the country. It was just as expensive. It was things, their blazers was like $15. And if it was anything like nice, kind of nice, like a leather jacket, instantly $35-$45. If it was a jersey, immediately $25. So I was buying stuff from Goodwill and like flipping it on eBay, but it wasn't really good profit. Like, it took a long time until I started making real profit. And as I was making these videos, the whole concept of this video came because sometimes I share some of my thrift store finds and my thrift store hauls, and people say, oh my God, you find so much good stuff and things like that. But the thing that's so crazy is that I'm in a very special place right now. Like, I feel like Santa Barbara is so... Stuff people give away here is bananas. Like, if you just go on Craigslist, for instance, people give away brand new fridges, brand new TVs, $1,000 items, but they're just giving it away. So you could only imagine what the Goodwill is like. But the funny thing is, usually a Goodwill would be super expensive, but the Goodwill here is very affordable, and I love it. And it definitely afforded a very good lifestyle for myself and my family. So for me, it all worked out perfectly, the fact that I moved across the country. Granted, I moved for a job, but I ended up coming here, and this was just better than I could ever expect. But with all that being said, this journey was crazy, and my journey is nowhere near done. You know, I'm not where I want to be yet, but my journey was just crazy getting here, because it took so long for me to really understand how to resell, how to, you know, buy things for a good price, what to even buy. Like I wasted a lot of money on things that I thought would flip, but there was no resale value there. Like I would buy Nike shirts or Adidas shorts thinking that, you know, this is an easy 20-30 bucks, and those things sell on eBay for like $5 to $10 sometimes. So I took a lot of L's. The learning curve was definitely crazy. At first I wasn't accepting returns, and then, you know, you would get the scams where somebody would, you know, wear something or damage it and then they want to return it and things like that. But the learning curve was crazy. The learning curve was literally 6 months. Within my first 6 months, I was averaging maybe $1,000 a month. And anybody knows, if that's your only source of income after fees and shipping and all that, you're probably coming home at 700 bucks. So the learning curve just from there alone was insane. But I'm one of those type of people that do tons of research. Like the people that I was following before I started doing YouTube was like Rally Roots and Bonafide Hustler and Raking Profit and College Picker. Like I was watching a lot of these videos from people that was doing it for a long time, so that way when I finally started going into these thrift stores, I kind of knew what to look for, I knew what to expect, I knew some tips and tricks, so I was kind of ahead of the game. So by the time I got to Santa Barbara, I was killing the competition, and I made a video on how to crush the competition, so you could check that out. I'll put that in the cards. But the thing that's so crazy was that I knew when I came out here there was other people selling. Like there was other people in Goodwill every single day doing just what I'm doing, and at first I would feel like, damn, I'm probably not gonna get anything good. But because I did so much research and I knew so many different brands and so many different categories, I was able to really crush the competition. Like they would be there for 2 hours and I would be there for 15 minutes, and I would immediately find something that they didn't know anything about. And that's the thing about doing research, and that's probably the best part of advice, the best piece of advice I can give new resellers and even more experienced sellers. You just constantly got to educate yourself, because in this business it's definitely very competitive and it's crazy tough. Like I know I share some of my thrift store hauls, and I'm, you know, I recently shared some sales that I just had, and I noticed a lot of people do that. They will share the good moments and the happy times, but it took me so long to even come onto YouTube because I was still struggling trying to figure out how to make sales consistently. Like this is my first real year of reselling, my full year of reselling, and this past summer, not to say my profit wasn't good, because I still made, you know, a good amount of money. I even was able to buy my fiance's engagement ring over this summer from, you know, selling things on eBay and PoshMark, which is crazy. And I'll probably throw a picture in right now. But anyway, I really was just glad that, you know, I was able to do the research, and now that I feel like I'm in a much more not easier, but I'm in a much more comfortable space, and I kind of got a better grasp of selling things online. Now I'm able to come on YouTube and kind of share my experience and kind of document the journey. But I just didn't want people out there that wants to start reselling thinking that this is going to be a walk in the park. You're going to go to a couple thrift stores, you're going to find some things to sell, and you're just going to be, you know, rolling in the dough.
I'll make it rain all day long.
Like, that's bullshit. Like, this is a real job, and this is definitely the hardest I've ever worked in my life. Now keep in mind, I used to just be suited up all day. I had a corner office at a college at like 22, and I was chilling. Like my days was, I was really chilling. Like my days would consist of a few meetings. I would meet with students, I would meet with other teachers and staff, and it was not easy money because there were stressful times some days, but for the most part I was chilling. The difference now is that it's a constant hustle. Just by me doing these YouTube videos, I kind of had to figure out how to get better with my time, just time management, because like I was telling you in some of my previous videos, I try to hit the thrifts almost every single day if I can. And what that did is, of course, it builds that level of consistency and that dedication that you need to build up a good inventory. But, you know, it just kind of builds that foundational level and that foundational system that you need to be a functional entrepreneur. Like, there's so much people that say they want to be an entrepreneur, they want to be their own boss, but they just want to, they really mean they just want to sleep late and not have to answer to anybody. And that's cool, because I don't have to answer to anybody right now either. But the fact that I know I need to get my ass up to get inventory, and I need to, you know, make sure I ship my items out on time, provide good customer service, accept returns sometimes when I know it's bullshit, just, you know, deal with the constant, you know, ups and downs of business. You know, during the summer, super slow. During this quarter, super good. Like right now, everybody is probably sharing amazing sales, talking about, oh, I made $10,000 this month. Keep in mind, during the summer, they probably was making $2,000. Some sellers, they take the whole summer off. So during the, you know, the summer, they might be relaxing and kind of like in a groundhog stage where they're just like building inventory. But during this time, from September to January, is when they're making their sales. So the more, I don't want to keep ranting and keep going all over the place. I realize that's what I'm doing. But I just wanted you all to realize that selling things online is definitely it's a challenge. But it's one of those things that if you can start a business here and you can learn the foundational things of like how to be an entrepreneur and just being accountable and stuff like that, you can take the skills that you learn here and you could pretty much take it into any other business, whether it's real estate,
A few moments later,
online coaching,
20 minutes later,
or developing ebooks and things like that. It's tons of different transferable skills that you can gain from being an online reseller, whether it's customer service as well, and, you know, just I don't know. It's a bunch of different shit. Like I said, I hope you guys learned something from this video. I know there's a lot of resellers right now putting out information, and a lot of it is great. Like some of the channels I was talking about before, especially Rally Roots, I get a lot from them. But there's a lot of people talking, you know, making it seem so lovely and so easy and anybody could do it. But this job is definitely a real job. But with the right amount of dedication, you know, educating yourself constantly every day, even when you think you mastered something, still taking the time to educate yourself will take you so far. So that's all I have for today's video. And if you like this video, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. And if you like the video, definitely smash that like button so that more people can, you know, eventually come across this video in their feeds and, you know, just continue to support the channel. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.